Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Now our patient is the laptop that we disassembled last time and that came in for a socket replacement. A few days ago someone asked me on eBay on my listing whether I would do the specialized board. They even sent the picture. I didn't see the picture because it was a link. I don't click on links, but it doesn't really matter. The procedure is the same and also no guarantee, right? So this is the equivalent of specialized board, or an example of a specialized board. It's a laptop, but we have memory sticks on both sides, the metal thingy behind that cannot be removed, which I've never tried it before with the metal over here. It might prevent warping, it might cause warping, it might fall off during the procedure because we're gonna heat it up to 210 degrees from the bottom and 205 degrees at the top. The little connectors next to it as well, they might deform, they might melt. A lot of stuff can happen. So on specialized boards, I was thinking about it. I could drop the temperatures a little bit. Drop the temperature at the bottom and increase the temperature at the top, risking melting the socket, because it might happen. Usually when they do melt, it's just like a little bit of surface melting. It should still work, but you have to heat it up. You have to compensate. If you don't heat up from the bottom, you have to compensate from the top. But the problem with that is, since we're using infrared, you need a good bottom temperature. That's the most important part to get the socket to solder on correctly. If you use low temperature at the bottom and high temperature at the top, then the socket might look like it's soldered on, but not every pin is gonna melt and the socket's not gonna work, or the computer is not gonna be stable. So there's a lot of risk with specialized boards. So do I do it? Sure. What's the success rate? We'll see. That's the first one. I'm gonna do my best, but probability of success on this one is very low. Hopefully this board can be replaced, because the socket looks really awful. It's not savable. Looks like some pins are missing, some are bent, right? So this is definitely not something that can be, bent and repaired. So if this doesn't work, definitely the whole board needs to be replaced. But the good part about this board is that the GPU is separate, and that's it. The rest is on the board. This is Intel, so we have PCH. This is 1200 socket. Actually, the socket it came from the customer. I'm still waiting for my shipment, and I ordered before the customer did. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Did you use like some expedited shipping or something? But we have the socket from the customer, and now let's replace it. We'll see how it's gonna go. The first specialized board. And we are done. Well, it's not necessarily a failure, but few things didn't go the way I expected. So turns out the back plate was glued on and it fell on the heater, which was kind of something I think I even mentioned that because I did think that there's no way it's welded on, but I was thinking there's also a possibility that it's applied with either silicone or resin or something like that to the board, or just kind of pressed in to stay in. This one was glued. Well, luckily it didn't hurt the heater, so it's fine. Um, Aligning the socket was actually a lot harder than I thought. It looks aligned to me. It looks like it is like it was before. But it wouldn't move across the board as it normally does. And it's not because the cleaning wasn't proper, like I didn't clean it properly, because I spent a lot of time cleaning it for that very purpose. But it looks like the board itself has some indentations there. So it was very hard to actually align it. Normally, the socket just slides across the board freely. This one would not, which on one hand should be easier because the balls will just fall into right positions. On the other hand, when the board is hot, it's you don't have an advantage of the microscope, right? No melting of anything, and probably I didn't even need to cover all these things. Looks like 210 is not enough to actually hurt these. Looks like it opens and closes properly. No signs of melting anywhere on the memory as well. I probably didn't need to cover these. We didn't lose any caps, because sometimes that happens. Also, the board itself didn't really flex that much. I didn't even notice it flexing. But it's also because it's small. As you can see, I didn't clean it yet because I just want to finish the video. And one thing that I messed up, I moved the solder blob over here, which was not ideal. And there's a chance I missed one of the components, although I did inspect it. I removed the blob and I examined the blob under the scope. It doesn't look like I missed any components, but we don't know. If that be the case, then there's a chance there's going to be a problem with memory. If this is for the memory, maybe it's a thermal feedback, who knows. But the socket is on. That is the joy of working on specialized boards. Right? There's no way to prepare yourself or to get a hang of it, because every specialized board is unique. That's why it's called specialized. All right, I'm gonna have to put it back together. I'm not gonna bore you with that. And no, we don't do any testing, because this is just a socket replacement service. It's not a repair service. I feel like I always need to mention that, because some people might. It happened once in the past that someone mistaken this service for a repair service, and was very unhappy that for the price of $60 I did not repair the board. I just replaced the socket. So I just need to mention that every time. Alrighty, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you found this entertaining or perhaps even valuable. I shall see you guys in the next one.